The Noggin that we loved from 1999 hasn't been the same anymore ever since 2019 when it transitioned into that we don't like. The modern Noggin, the current logo of a mobile app. And also, not only that Noggin that became a hollow shell of what it become, it transformed into a Nick Jr. 2.0. Not for the better, but for the worse. Why is this? Why is Noggin now a Nick Jr. 2.0? And why does it have much of the programming from Nick Jr.? In this video, we're going to have to find this out. Starting with the rise of Noggin. The creation of Noggin goes all the way back in 1995. Nickelodeon and Children's Television Workshop made their own cable channels, such as New Kid City and Big Orange. Both Nickelodeon and the Children's Television Workshop, aka Sesame Workshop, began having their own dream to make their own educational channel for big kids and preteens, not just for preschoolers like Nick Jr. Unfortunately, New Kid City was abandoned. The concept was abandoned on Sesame Workshop's side, while Nickelodeon's Big Orange concept was put on hold. By 1997, Nickelodeon retooled the project into Noggin, a syndicated television series which would meet the FCC's newer requirements for educational programming. A pilot was produced by Nickelodeon and Simon and Schuster and Paramount Television based on Nick's series shorts Inside Eddie Johnson. Viacom hoped to grow Noggin into a major brand with educational electronic publishing products, a website, and possibly a cable channel that would focus on educational content, complementing entertainment-oriented Nickelodeon. In March, Nickelodeon revealed that they would launch a commercial-free Noggin channel in 1998. So, on April 28th, 1998, Viacom and Children's Television Workshop joined forces and invested $100 million to creating this channel, ages 6 to 12. Both companies decided to make Noggin ad-free because we don't know what's wrong. We don't know why they don't want commercials on the Noggin channel. So that's why they made it ad-free. While Nickelodeon was basically a dumping ground for SpongeBob SquarePants and Nick Jr. being the dumping licensed ground for Paw Patrol, Noggin was basically lighthearted and ages kids 6 to 12 or 6 to 11. It launched on February 2nd, 1999, and it launched over 1.5 million subscribers via national satellite television provider Dish Network, and was marked as both satellite and digital. Sweepstakes were part of Noggin's early advertising. In April 1999, it sponsored a contest in which viewers who submitted the correct lyrics of the Electric Company theme song and had a chance to have their electric bills paid for a year. In 2000, Viacom's Nickelodeon and Sesame Workshop distributed packages of school supplies called Noggin's Master of Suspense Kits to 50,000 U.S. teachers as part of a sweepstakes designed to celebrate creative, thoughtful educational instructions. Noggin's programming was divided into 3 blocks. 1, a morning block for younger children. 2, a teenage and a main block for its targeting preteens and teenagers. And 3, an adult retro block program. Yeah, it's basically an adult programming block for adults, for like for teenagers and adults to that can watch at night. Yeah, maybe adult retro, an adult block. Maybe it's just me. During Noggin's early morning block, it would feature shows that were on Nick Jr. like Eureka's Castle, Gullah Gullah Island, Kipper, and so much more, etc. Yeah, the morning block will be called Noggin in the Morning or Noggin Jr. Noggin Jr. or Noggin in the Morning, they should have like branded their own morning block. Now, everybody was concerned that Noggin was weird during 1999 and 2000. And I mean, really weird. Very weird. But that's all going to change in 2000. In 2000, Noggin introduced us a new facelift, which cashed in the cyberspace, if you would, which was popular at the time. And it was created after Bill Nye the Science Guy had first aired on Noggin. That's right, new shows that were added. In 1999, the network Noggin had a mascot named Fred, Phed, an anthropomorphic pickle who started his own show, Fred on Your Head, which would later become the URL with Fred Show. Yeah, kinda weird, but this is actually Noggin's first original show, and that wouldn't be the last. In 2000, Noggin made another original series, Ubi, a hand puppet. Yeah, it's pretty weird for everybody, but it looks pretty awesome to me, in my opinion. I actually did watch a few episodes of Ubi in my formative years, and I really liked it. The network also seen another original series called A Walk in Your Shoes. And then after that, we got Spunk. And later a spin-off of Fred on Your Head, the URL with Fred Show. In 2001, Noggin introduced us the Hubbub, a programming block that focused on the Noggin website. Shows that were featured on the Hub were A Walk in Your Shoes, Bill Nye the Science Guy. Y'all know the rest. We already know Bill Nye the Science Guy, A Walk in Your Shoes, Spunk, and Big Kids. The latter of which were introduced in 2001. New features were added to the Noggin website that time. In December 2001, the Hubbub was discontinued. And the reason behind this is because Noggin was trying to help out its adult retro block, and it didn't work out. Not even its programming block, the Hubbub, wasn't doing any good and better. So that's what happened, and they gave up. Also, in 2001, the Jim Henson Company sold its stake in Noggin to Sesame Workshop, along with their rights to the Sesame Street characters from Sesame Street. This left Ubi, which began production in 2000 as the only preschool series created while the company and Sesame Workshop both controlled Noggin's programming. Yeah, Ubi was the only show left for preschoolers, and it is still in production on Noggin. This became a problem because preschool oriented programming was the fare that Noggin was having, and it was part of Noggin's bread and butter. So, in March 2002, where I was born at that time, Tom Ascheim, Noggin's original manager, who is now Cartoon Network general manager, announced to shift Noggin's demographic to preschoolers to create a new block for older children in the night. His plans was to help out and give the preschoolers what they wanted instead of just only one preschool show like Ubi. On April Fool's Day 2002, the channel space was divided into two blocks. Noggin discarded its adult retro block and expanded their preteen and their preschool blocks to be 12 hours per day. Now, the preschool block would run from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., while its teenage block would run from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. I know, it's pretty weird, I think, but it's very better than no shows for everybody. Yeah, Noggin wouldn't be Noggin without its morning block for younger children. So, during April Fool's Day 2002, after I was born at that time, Noggin became a channel for preschoolers, similar to Nick Jr., but with its own Noggin flavored, including the additions of new shows, like Play With Me Sesame, which premiered that time, and 123 Sesame Street. Also, during Noggin's notable days as a preschool channel after April Fool's Day 2002, Noggin had some Noggin interstitials until they were phased out by 2003 or 2004. And Noggin's former audience had the N. Yeah, the N. It was targeted at preteens and teenagers. And it was part of Noggin's preteen block. The N was a preteen block, and it was a nighttime programming block that ran on the Noggin channel from April Fool's Day 2002 until December 31st, 2007. Its slogan was Real Life Now. Noggin's T Network starts at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific, and it airs from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. The N aired much of the same programming that the old Noggin from 1999 to 2002 used to air, such as Big Kids, A Walk in Your Shoes, Ghost Rider, and Spunk, but also aired several new shows that were made for the block, like Real Access, the game show Best Friends Date, the animated comedy series O'Grady, and the drama South Out of Nowhere. And the N was the home for the U.S. broadcast of Degrassi The Next Generation, which was the biggest high popular show on the N, and it put the N on the map, which was created by AAC Kids, aka Elias Atlantis. Again, the N was owned by Noggin LLC, and all of the N's original programming was greenlit and were owned and produced by Noggin LLC. So Noggin is basically all of it, both Noggin and the N. There's only one channel, so Noggin is obviously having a big programming block for it. So it looks like Noggin isn't completely ignoring the acknowledging for teenagers and preteens, because it's basically the home for Degrassi The Next Generation during their nighttime primetime programming. Now back to Noggin. Noggin now looked a lot different. It had styling that was clearly influenced by the old Noggin, but with a little bit of arts and craftsy aesthetic. Also, Fred was replaced by Feet Face that time in 2002, which really looked weird as one of Noggin's newest mascots. And as well as Sesame Street, Noggin aired several Nick Jr. shows, such as Allegra's Window, Gullah Gullah Island, Blue's Clues, Maisie and Kipper. Noggin received a new original Sesame Workshop series called Tiny Planets, where two character aliens named Bane and Bond would travel from planet to planet learning about various subjects. For everybody, it's pretty weird. Also, Noggin received new interstitials. There was this notable storytime shorts known as "And Then What Happened," in which a fairy tale would be read and then a kid would make up his or her own addendum. Pretty cool, I think. In August 2002, Noggin's parent company, Sesame Workshop, who created Noggin with Nickelodeon, sold its 50% interest in Noggin to Nickelodeon and Viacom, leaving Noggin entirely under Viacom's control. However, it didn't affect programming, however, and Noggin continued to air Sesame Workshop produced shows. After all of this have happened, the creative and executives at Noggin thought it was a good idea to redesign Noggin. So the executives from Noggin toured New York schools in search of ways to improve the channel's programming and continuity. And then Amy Friedman, Senior Vice President of Development at Noggin, decided to model the channel after a well run preschool they saw. The effects took place in April 2003, when Noggin received a new facelift. The arts and crafty styling was increased. A Noggin with more arts and crafty styling designed to evoke a preschool, and two new hosts and mascots, Moose A. Moose and his friend Z, and this new slogan called "It's like preschool on TV." Yeah, it's not always about playtime. It's all about learning, playtime, and resting when you need it most. And that's why like 12 hours from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and soon later 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, Noggin. It's like preschool on TV. Yeah, it used to be like this. Yeah. Now anyway, the 2000 the 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. era of Noggin continued until December 31st, 2007, when Nickelodeon announced that Nick Gass will be kicking the bucket and that the N would take over its channel space. And so, on December 31st, 2007, Nick Gass officially kicked the bucket and made way for the N. So, Noggin and the N became their own separate networks rather than sharing the same channel that they were sharing from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. This was to show how different the two networks' demographics were. Oh yeah, and funnily enough, we have we have something that we never seen before. Noggin had programming blocks, and I also recall it had one programming block called Nick Jr. on Noggin, and the end even had a block called T Nick on the end, of course. They both blocks aired much of the same programming like how they did on the main Nick Jr. and the T Nick block. They were first introduced and then they were discontinued in 2009. For Teen Nick on the N, it ran until August 3rd, 2009. Yeah, kind of not right. Noggin and the N were once standalone channels, just like Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon used to be. Both networks were part of Sesame Workshop and Nickelodeon's bread and butter during that success. However, something went wrong in 2009. In 2009, everything changed dramatically. And Viacom and Nickelodeon decided to discontinue and replace the Noggin channel and the N with T Nick and Nick Jr. And it's all thanks to this president named Simon Zarek Hammy. So On February 23rd, 2009, Viacom and Nickelodeon announced that the Noggin and the N would be replaced with T-Nick and Nick Jr. as spin-offs of Nickelodeon's teenage and preschool blocks since 2001 and 1988. They were going for it. Will T-Nick and Nick Jr. help in the near future? Yeah, right. On September 28th, 2009, both Noggin and the N had ended it and were replaced by the Nick Jr. channel and the T-Nick channel. Though the channel was renamed, the two channels were renamed, Nick Jr. and T-Nick retained their The N's programming and Noggin's programming. Nick Jr. retained its Noggin styling with Moose and Z in the preschool styling until 2012. 2012, we see Nick Jr. rebranding entirely to the Smart Place to Play era, or as we affectionately call it, Modern Era 1.0 and 2.0. Here are the shows that were from Noggin or something like that. So from Noggin, you got The Backyardigans, Dora the Explorer, Go Diego Go, Little Bill, Nihao Kailan, Oswald, The Wonder Pets, Blues Clues, Blues Room, The Fresh Beat Brand, Gullah Gullah Island, Jack's Big Music Show, Ubi, and The Upside Down Show. And then there was Franklin, the original, Maggie and the Ferocious Beast, Max and Ruby, Miss Spider, Sunny Patch Rins, Pinky Dinky Doo, Toot and Puddle, and Wow Wow Wubsy. As well as Yo Gabba Gabba and Lazy Town. Those shows remained on the Nick Jr. channel as reruns. Then there were brand new shows that premiered during its like preschool on TV era, which will later become the Smart Place to Play era. The Noggin brand from 2012 to 2015 lay dormant for a few years. Noggin fans were really devastated that their beloved channel was gone. They were already wondering that their beloved, awesome channel brand was gone for good. But that's all gonna change. In 2015, it was announced that Noggin would be relaunched as a video app streaming service. The Noggin brand would have much of the programming from the Nick Jr. from 2009 to 2012, and then the Noggin from 2003 to 2009. And also, there was a growing Noggin community on the internet. The Noggin fandom doesn't really, I think it's really big, but it does exist. It also has lots of videos and a few others. Now some of Noggin's logo idents are really questionable and really weird to me, but I think I'll get used to it. Yeah, Noggin is really weird, but a cool brand. Maybe I could still watch it, but all we have are broken websites of Noggin as well as tapes from the 2000s. Yeah, this is no fun. We want the Noggin channel to be how it once was. Yeah, kind of like that. Soon later in 2019, Nickelodeon retired its two mascots, Moose and Z, again. Yeah, that's right. Noggin was relaunched as a video app and revived the Moose and Z era, and then somehow in 2019 the network retired the two mascots Moose and Z again. Seriously, again? Nick Jr. just retired those two mascots. What is going on? Moose and Zero Rock dated somehow? Yeah, I think so. It was very idiotic for Nickelodeon to get rid of Moose and Z like that. They put Noggin on the map, especially Moose A Moose. And this is the thing that they get? This is the thanks that we get? So in return, you simply got rid of them like they were outdated and were nothing. The current Nick Jr. shows that are on the Noggin app are Abby Hatcher, Baby Shark's Big Show, oh dear, and oh boy, everyone is so really mad at that it's on the Noggin app. Blaze and the Monster Machines, Bubble Guppies, Deer Squad. I don't know why Final Space is in there. I don't know why it's still on there. It's not really a preschool show. Then there's Paw Patrol, Peppa Pig, Rainbow Rangers. Nickelodeon lost the rights to it to Cartoon Channel. Yeah, I don't know why Rainbow Rangers is still on there. Then there's Ryan's Mystery Playdate, which when everybody don't like. That's another webtoon to be picked up by Nickelodeon. Then there's Santiago of the Seas and the Adventures of Paddington Bear. Now, I have a few complaints. Why did you turn Noggin into a Nick Jr. 2.0? Seriously, what is going on here? I thought Nickelodeon is going to like bring back Noggin to put on old reruns and old series like Backyardigans, Blue's Clues, the original one, as well as Dora the Explorer, the Fresh Beat Band, Go Diego Go, the Moose Z interstitials, Nell the Princess Knight, Nihao Kai Lan. How about Shimmer and Shine, Team Umizoomi, Wally Kazam, or Wonder Pets? What is going on here? Hey, where's Max and Ruby? Where's Little Bear? Where's Where's Peter Rabbit? Where's Zack and Quack? Or I don't know. I think it got criticized. I think. Where's the Upside Down Show? Where's Oswald? Where's Ubi? Where's Jack's Big Music Show? Where's Blues Room? And where's Allegra's Window? Is Nickelodeon don't care about classic shows anymore? What's going on here? What is going on? Where's Miffy and Friends? Oh yeah, and on top of all that, where's the original Franklin? Yeah. Also, spoiler alert: Nickelodeon just wants to tick people off, and they just don't care about classic times. They just want to care about the modern shows that they're trying to get for a new audience. Y'all may face palm now. Nickelodeon is basically turned into a you Lodian now. That's the name with the F word. There's no way I can get a Noggin app with subscription like this. So yeah, no way. Even though I'm not a preschooler, I still want to see the good old Noggin once again. But unfortunately I can't because guess what? Its logo and branding has been eliminated from 1999 for good. Yeah. Until 2019, Noggin's brand was defined by a very stylized character logo. The bottom half of a smiling face and the upper half of the logo featured various icons that represented a certain topic or idea that the head was thinking. Like flowers, probably Ubi, a sun, and a lamp. By 2019, Nickelodeon retired the original Noggin face logo along with its former mascots, Moose and Z, and the logo was replaced by a lowercase Noggin wordmark written in purple, while Moose and Z were replaced with more recognizable characters from Nickelodeon's preschool shows. I say that's the worst idea in Nickelodeon history ever! Okay, I have enough. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. What do you think of Noggin for today? I can't describe how really disappointed I am with Nickelodeon. I am done. I'm just done. Just let me know in the comments about what you guys think about the Noggin for today, and what do you think Nickelodeon should have done on. Thank you guys for watching. Also, as always, make sure to stay tuned for more videos. And also, shout out to Epic Boyo. Thank you guys for watching.